Hello there and welcome to Let's Animate Tutorial. This is Tadeo, and today we are going to teach you how to have this animation to have its RGB split and a glow. So your animation won't look a little boring. So let's start. So I'm using Krita version 4.48, or you can use a higher version. So these are my layers. As you can see, this is the foreground layer, which is the glow, and the animation layer, which all my animation is happening, and this is the midground of the background and the background. So my background is just a cloud. So the animation actually was actually made in layers. It means the colors and all the shadows are made in separate layers, but I merged them all to become one layer. So you can do that, but this time I'll just show this. So this animation, let's say we need the background. As you can see here, I made the backgrounds with blur. You can see these are the original background. So I created a filter layer, filter mask. Actually, we just need to right click your background, just right click and add filter mask. All right, when you have that, it will pop up this window. All right, you gotta set up the radius and all. Okay, the same as here on the midground, I did the same thing. Just right click the layer and then add filter mask. All right, so that's what happened. So after creating the filter mask, we need to group this. All right, my foreground glow, actually this is my foreground glow. You can see here my foreground glow is set up to the blending option will be screen. So if this is normal, you need to choose screen. All right, okay, so and then turn down the opacity if I want to. Then that's all. Now we need to select all layers except the background that we don't need. We need to select all layers. Just click, highlight or click the first layer and then up to the last layer by holding Shift key, right? And then Control G, or maybe right click your all your backgrounds and then select group, quick group, or Control G. There you go. After grouping, you need to create a clone for this layer. So I collapse it, so you'll see just one layer, but it is in group. All right, just right click, then add. Okay, add, same as the filter, but you need to choose clone layer. Right, you need to clone it. So everything you edit here in this original layer will also appear here in the clone. All right, so if you add another layer and then you draw on it, it will add it here automatically. All right, you can turn this invisible and turn the clone on. That's it. So but we need to clone it like 3 times. So we have one here, we need to clone it again. You can clone the clone. All right, add, then clone, then clone again, add clone. So we have 3 clones there. So let's turn this invisible, the original. So we gonna name this into RGB, or red, green, and blue. So we need to rename this as red, green, and blue. Right. We're gonna create RGB, that's why we rename it to RGB. Then hold and select. Yeah, just hold your shift. Then press F3, or you can just right click and then properties, right? This will be set up for the entire layers, all the layers, the RGB layers, all at the same time. So we're gonna set up to screen, and then you need to click OK. As you can see, it turned invisible, right? Okay, you need to group this. If you can't see it, you need to group this, of course. Control G. Right now we can see it, but it's different. Right? It's lightened up. So we need to set up the properties again for each layer, right? Just press F3 and then go to the active channels. Here, the active channels, we see, let's put them all together. All right, we see our layer, this layer, and it's named here, the red. We'll just leave the red and turn off, untick all the layers and leave the red checked. All right, and then click OK. Now let's go to green, then press F3, do the same, leave the green this time, leave the green and leave the red, then check the uncheck the red, then click OK, and then the blue, now we will leave the blue. So uncheck and uncheck and check. There you go. Now we're back to normal. All right, now we need to scale the blue and the red. We need to rescale them just a little bit. Okay, so we need to right click and then add. Let's go to add and then transform mask. There you go. It has a transform mask. It means we're not gonna transform anything permanently, right? So when you transform, click this button here, this transform tool. Then let's zoom in. Let's zoom in and see how this goes. Let's see. We're gonna scale, all right? We need to go here. Make sure that this button here is on. You need to click it. Make sure it's on. So that when you scale, I'll show you. When you scale, it will scale on both sides. So, but when it's off, let's turn it off. It will just scale on the whatever side you are. All right. So we don't need that. So we need to scale it in proportion, right? So we need to scale it just a little bit, scale it a little bit. There you go. As you can see, it's translucent there. Then press enter. It won't show anything yet. So we need to go to here to red and then right click, do the same thing, add transform mask. Right now, this time we're gonna scale it again. Make sure you press this. It's not this one, it should be this. All right, then click using the same tool then scale it a little. There you go. Now press enter. Now we have a little RGB split there. Right? If you can't see it, you can scale it again. Right? You can scale it again a little bit more like that. Press enter. It will take some time to work. That's it. So you can press this if you like. Alright, it will do the same thing. Just turn the background invisible so you can see everything. But it's alright if you can just don't use it. You will see it. Anyways, there we have RGB split. So we need a little bit more scaled up. Right, scaled up. There. We have RGB split now. Right? It's unnoticeable, but you'll see. There will be some changes here. See? There's an RGB split there somewhere. So now we need to add the glow. Alright. We need to add the glow, okay? But the glow needs to appear. So needs to appear on the layer. So we're not gonna touch this anymore. The clone layers. So going back here, going back to original layers. So we need to make this animation layer glowing, right? You cannot just click something and have a filter and create a glow. So we need to clone this. We're gonna clone this animation layer, right? Just press Control J to clone it. Then we're gonna blur it. All right. So let's rename this as blur animation. Right. So we won't get confused. All right. So after renaming it, we go to blur, go to filter. Let's filter mask. Add another filter mask. Right. So filter mask, go to blur. Right. You can use lens blur. Right. Lens blur. Or you can use the blur. It's easier if you use a Gaussian or lens blur or blur rather. So we can put up the blur, maybe 15, right? 15, 16. That's okay. 16, I think. I'm gonna make it 20, right? Then press OK. So the layer is now blurred, so you cannot see. Oh my gosh. So we need to select the layer and then change it to the blending, change it to screen. Alright, it will take a while though. There you go. It has a glow now. So to turn it off, then turn it on. Alright. There you go. So we now have glow. We can turn it down up to 75. So it's not harsh. So we can turn this invisible. Alright. So now that we have our glowing layer, we need to create another effects. Alright. We need to create a noise. So it's too digital right now. See, it's too digital. It's very digital actually. It's too smooth for me. So this is optional. So we can create another filter layer. So create this time filter layer, right? You can use filter layer and then go to other and then random noise. Oh my gosh, it's raining. So we can change the opacity to 12 or 10, right? 12 is alright, 10 is okay. Okay, then you press OK. Now we have that our animation has a noise. As you can see, there's little noise here in our animation, right? So this will make your animation a little more organic, so not too digital, right? So there you go. We have our animation. Let's save it. We have our animation, and now it's not so digital anymore. Alright, so you can export it, right? You can render the animation and export it. You can use FFmpeg. If you can't find it, just search it online, FFmpeg, and then you can find it in your hard drive, like by the way, clicking this. See, FFmpeg, it's in my hard drive. So you can now export your animation. So let's export it and click OK, and then wait for it. Now we have our animation rendered, everything in Krita version 4.48. So I hope you can use this for your animation, and I hope you can use it well. All right. So till next time.